about the hip hinge or RDL and the different variations that you may be using in your programs. When it comes to the RDL, we're really focusing on hinging the hips. It's essentially like unlocking your knees, being able to shift your weight back posteriorly, being able to shift your weight back backwards, load up the hamstrings and have a nice straight back. Okay? So whenever you hear the word hinge, that's what we're referring to. Okay, so this is in regards to performing an RDL. So regardless if this is with a single kettlebell, the narrow stance, a wide stance with a kettlebell, or dumbbells in each hand, or even a barbell, all the same rules apply as far as performing the RDL or the hip hinge. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to focus on for you guys to see and look at and hear, so that you guys don't run into the mistakes that I see on a regular basis with some of my clients when they're first performing a hinge. Okay, so first things first, you're going to load your backside first. When you hinge back and push your hips back, you want your knees to be unlocked. You don't want them to be straight, because what's going to happen there, if you straighten out your knees, chances are your spine is going to get out of the neutral position. So you want to unlock the knees, get the hips back, and the spine is nice and neutral. Chin's tucked, it's a nice straight line from my back of my head all the way to my butt. If I drew a line from the top of my head to my butt, it should be a straight line. So we're not overarching too much, and we're not rounding too much. Okay? So in this position, I have a nice straight back, and not only that, I'm focusing on bracing my abs. So I'm flexing my ribcage down to make sure that I have tension in the front and in the back to protect the spine. Okay? So that's generally, that's the hip hinge for you. For an RDL, that's exactly what we're performing. Whether you have a wide stance, it's the same movement, unlock the knees, push the hips back. Narrow stance, unlock the knees, push the hips back. We have a kettlebell, and we have a narrow stance, you're unlocking the knees, pushing the hips back. Okay? If you have a wide stance, same thing. Same movement, just different foot position. Okay? Same thing as if we had dumbbells in each hand, and same thing with the barbell. Now, when we get to the barbell, a couple things you want to focus on. If you're doing a narrow stance, you want to have your feet right in line with your hips. Okay? When you go to grab the bar, you're going to do that same movement. You're going to do a hip hinge. Make sure you're not picking it up with a rounded spine, or you're just kind of grabbing the bar. Okay? You're going to come down, grab the edge of the knurling so that your forearms are right along the side of your knees here. So stand up with it, okay? So I got a nice compact position, and I'm going to perform that movement just exactly how I was going over. This one thing you want to focus on is letting the barbell drag down your thighs into your shins, and then stand up. Now, how low you go is going to be dependent on your mobility, your ability to go down. If you can come all the way down to the floor, tap the floor with a neutral spine, come back up, that's fine. A lot of people aren't going to be able to do that, so generally speaking, I like to say, come to about knee to mid-shin, depending on your mobility, your ability to accomplish that hip hinge. And as you keep performing it, you get better at the movement, you increase your mobility. You're going to want to try to test it out and see if you can go a little bit lower. But again, form trumps all. If your spine gets out of neutral, or you're kind of turning it into a squat where you're bending down a little bit too much, then that's not necessarily an RDL. And stick with the form, stick with the technique, and the weight will come.